there's one. So this video is supported by Cal. You may have seen me wear a lot of their shirts. Their fishing shirts are pretty nice, but they also do more than just fishing. They do hunting, which is kind of cool, but they sent me a pair of their dock boots that I've got on right now. And I love my Crocs. I'm always usually fishing in Crocs, but right now it's not Croc weather. And I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with these. With dock boots being, 100 plus, it's nice to know that there's still stuff out there that's quality, waterproof, skin safe. They fit really nice. They give you 2 different insoles. So if you wanna have more of a snug fit, or if you wanna wear socks with them, they're great too. But yeah, I'm gonna be wearing these all day today. I'll let you know what my views are at the end of the video. But right now, I'm pretty impressed. If y'all remember the Banjo Minnow, I remember watching those infomercials as a kid and thinking, man, if I can get my hands on a Banjo Minnow, it'll make me a better fisherman and I'll catch more fish. Spoiler alert, it doesn't and it won't. But the marketing, I'll tell you, it got me. And what I was able to find that's pretty similar is the Z-Man DarterZ Shiner color. For me, I like the Shiner color. You can get them in anything you want, but I love the way that it has that lifelike action when you twitch it, when you burn it, and it's got the elastic in it, so it floats really well. I have a couple different ways that I have rigged it up. The first one being pretty common. So I have this on a twist lock belly weighted or keel weighted hook. There's a 1/16 ounce weighted hook. With it being a keel weight or a belly weight, what's gonna happen is it's gonna fall straight down like this, kind of slowly. And based on how you twitch it when it's falling, you can actually get it to start spinning, which is actually pretty cool. I have this on a medium rod, on my jerkbait rod, with 12-pound fluorocarbon. You could probably get away with using 10. I just have 12 because that's what I had laying around. And I have a high gear ratio, an 8:3:1. You want something that has a little bit of a backbone, be able to drive this hook, because it is a pretty thick wired hook. So you want to be able to penetrate with this hook, but at the same time, you want something a little bit light and a little bit flexy on top, so you can get that kind of that twitch action mode. The second way I have it rigged up, and probably my favorite, is actually just on a jig head. And this is a OutKast tackle money darter jig. What it'll do is when it falls, it actually will always do the spin as it falls down. And so in this case, what I like to do and start it off is actually lift up on your rod so that the bait goes up and then it falls down and does the twist motion. Bass are opportunistic feeders, so when they see a bait fish like this and they see a bait fish dying, they can't resist it, right? It's kind of like, would you rather go out hunting for your food or just go to the nearest McDonald's? One's easier than the other. And that's kind of what bass are like, right? They're gonna see this and they're gonna not be able to resist that action, that lifelike action of the dying bait fish. So because it is Elastec, it is gonna float. So this is a 1/16 ounce jig head. Because it is cold out here and we are well into fall, the bass metabolism is slowed down, so is the bait fish. You want to give it like slow jerks, give it some long pauses, a couple seconds. Kind of think of it as, almost like a weightless Senko in the way that you're gonna fish it. I have this paired up to my medium rod. This is kind of my finesse medium rod. So you can get away with putting it on a spinning reel, I would recommend as well. I have this on 10-pound fluorocarbon. I have this on my Corrado MGL, just so I can kind of toss it out a little bit further than I would on anything else. But you want something that you would fish a wacky worm with, right? If you use that on a spinning rod or even a bait caster, medium light, that would work perfectly as well. Because it is kind of cold today, I have a feeling, they are going to be chasing up for bait, right? They're going to be focused primarily on bait fish, trying to put on some fat reserves for the winter. So I have a feeling what they're going to try to do is push bait fish up to ledges. So what the bass are going to do, or they're going to push those bait fish, up onto that drop off onto that ridge, so they can either go up or side. Today I'm going to fish primarily this. I brought 3 rods today. I brought 2 mediums to throw this bad boy, and I also brought a medium heavy, so throw around a jig in case they are not chasing and not in a bait fish mood and they're looking more for bottom bouncing craws, insects, things like that. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but you can see how it twitches. It's got really that lifelike twitch, and then when it dies, it's going to spin down because of that money darter jig head. But I want to show that this can work in pressured water, and it is fantastic in pressured water. It's a little bit of a different look than what they're used to. So Just kind of cast it out. And like I said, what I'm gonna do is let it sink a little bit, lift up, and just let it sink back down. Kind of like you would a wacky. That's really all it is. Think of it as just a wacky worm, weightless Senko, anything like that. And I guess, you know, you can get away with throwing this on, you know, your medium heavy if you have it. Just be careful. Exposed hook and this jig head that I have, you do run the risk of bending out the hooks or just ripping the hook out of the fish's mouth. And I'll put all the links to the baits and the jig heads that I'm using if you guys want to get some of your own. Not sponsored, but you know, I love the money darter jigs whenever I'm using like a jig head type of presentation. It just, I love the way that it causes, oop, there's one. See, it's pretty quick. And with the exposed hook, you're not gonna be really setting the hook like you would normally. You know, it's really gonna be mostly a lean. Thanks, bud. So yeah, that's really all it is. And like I said, when you set the hook, you know, if you're in that position, it's not gonna be your typical, there's another one. That's a better one. It's not gonna be your typical hook set like you would on a jig, right? You're just gonna be leaning back. And the reason why you want something that kind of has a little bit of a flimsy tip to it is so that the rod is what weights up. And because I'm using 10 pound, I don't really want to, you know, run the risk of snapping off. That's a better one. Ooh, come on, buddy. So yeah, you can see with just a lean back, you know, we're just leaning back and not really setting the hook, you're able to penetrate fairly well. It's better, nice. Stay here for a little bit longer, see if I can pick any more off, and then go to another ledge. So this is what I'm fishing. You can see rocks on the side. Down here you can see, you know, there's fish pushing bait up here. You can see like there's bass around here kind of crowling them up in here. So this is what I'm fishing right here in front of me. So you can give these, so you can jerk this, and I'll show you here. So what I like to do are quick jerks and then let it die. The quick jerks, if I can get it up here and you can see it, what happens and what it causes that bait to do is it actually gives it a, you know, pretty lifelike swim. And then when you kill it, it's gonna just die down and do that spin. And it looks like an injured baitfish. And if you know where the baitfish are at, you know, it's probably pretty likely there's gonna be injured baitfish. You know, bass do miss sometimes. Oh, there's one. Bass do miss, and that was on like the quick jerk. They do miss, which will, you know, kind of incapacitate, if you will, knock out that bait fish a little bit. And so when they fall, or when they're kind of falling, you know, they're kind of doing that spin. Nice, bud. But yeah, they are really wanting that. Nice. Little tiny guy, but fought pretty well. All right, so that works. I want to try out the belly weighted. So again, you're gonna kind of swim it, you're gonna kind of fish it the same way. Let's see if I can show you what it looks like. So yeah, so you know, you twitch it just like a normal jerkbait. But it's gonna fall down nose first. And this one I am gonna jerk like a jerkbait, because it is, you know, it's just like any other fluke at this point. Just with a little bit of a different action. A little bit more lifelike. Let it sink down just a little bit. I don't want to go all the way to the bottom. Give a couple jerks, let it sink. A couple jerks, let it sink. Here, when it comes up to the water, I don't know. So Yeah, so if you can see it, what's happening is when you jerk it, it'll have that erratic action like a normal bait fish would. And when it sinks, it's gonna sink head first and it's gonna do a spin. Again, mimicking a dying bait fish. And so I think, oh, there's one. That was right up on that bank. So again, not really setting the hook, kind of like I would like on a jerk bait. Oh, that's a better one. Nice. Oh, he's got a little sore on his gill. I don't want to touch it, but. So yeah, not a bad fish. Thanks, bud. And with that twist lock, you know, it's gonna keep that bait on there pretty well. The elastic's gonna grab onto it. So maybe they are up kind of closer to these ledges. Oops. You know, they've pushed those bait fish up onto the ledge. And so I like the twist lock. I like the belly weighted EWG style if there's a lot of structure around, you know, because it is weedless. And you have a less chance of actually getting hung up. So he was kind of close up to that. Let me see if there's anything else over there. And just what I'm doing is I'm casting up to that wall and letting it drop down. It is a pretty big drop off. There, oh, that was him. Oh, well, that stinks. Oh, I guess it's back to this guy. I'll try this corner right here. Another good place to find them, you know, is kind of where their current turns. That's what I call them. I don't really know what they're called, but you can kind of see here where, you know, it's going up against this point. Current kind of turns off, goes this way, it goes that way. And so it's a good way for the fish, again, to corral bait fish. But we'll try here. There he is. Oh, felt it. Might have been a little guy based on the way he kind of spit it real quick. Yeah. I'd say that was a little one. Oop. I think that was one. Yeah. Oh. That little guy has to be like a bluegill or a crappie. It might actually be crappie. Kind of just based on the way that they're eating it. There are fish down there though. So what I like to do if I know there's fish in the area, is instead of doing, you know, the rise up and let it sink, is actually give them twitches, give them a different look, make it look like, you know, there's a little school of bait fish that are passing through. Thanks, bud. Especially if they bit, because you know they've already seen that kind of action. So give them a different look, even when you're fishing it, right? Even give them another different look, can grab that fish. So that was what was biting me, that little guy. But let's see if there's any more. I'm gonna let it sink again, and then I'm gonna do the fast twitches, let it die. Fast twitches, let it die. Oh, he was back again. So ledges and rocks right now, especially the rocks, you know, rocks hold heat very well. And so, you know, the bass are gonna kind of congregate to that, kind of like a heater. See if there's anything on this ledge here. It's kind of a slow tapering ledge. It's not a super deep drop off. But again, you know, the the current and the wind is funneling the water in here. There is a ledge. It pretty much connects both of these points. And that's kind of where the ledge is at. Kind of starts right around there, actually. And, you know, they may have moved off. Got a deeper water, different water. Oh, there's one. A little tiny guy, but he was right on the edge like I thought he was gonna be. And so I'm also not trying to horse them in, right? Like I said, I got pretty light line on this. They are fired up, so I'm just trying to let them tire themselves out a little bit before trying to boat flip them in here. He's still got a little fight in him. Thanks, bud. But that's a pattern, fellas. That is a pattern. There's another one. So again, you know, not even really setting the hook, just kind of leaning in, reeling up, or just lifting the rod and just kind of reeling in. And then just letting my rod and the line do most of the work. You know, reeling up to keep that pressure, but a lot of that pressure is coming from my rod. You can see how the rod is loading up. And that's what's pinning the fish, right? That's what's keeping the fish hooked. Oh, he swam underneath me. That's what's keeping the fish hooked. Another male. Thanks, bud. But yeah, once you figure out the pattern, fishing becomes a lot of fun. There's another one. That's a tiny one. Oh, I think that might have been a crappie. Really close to those rocks, really hugging up there. And so, you know, in the fall, bass are going to school up, right? They're going to work together to corral those bait fish. And so, what you can do, there's another one, Jesus. So what you can actually do is almost cause a feeding frenzy, right? Once they see one of the friends eating, they're all going to want to eat, and they're all going to be on the lookout, right? Oh man, he's an acrobat. And so in the fall, especially, if you find one fish, you catch one fish, chances are, oh man, chances are, you're gonna be more in that area. So cast again in that area. It's a better one. Come on, bud. I'll let you back. I'll let you back. I'll let you back. Nice. Thanks, bud. So this video is for you, Eric. So I was talking to my buddy a couple days ago who also fishes this, but you know, really wasn't sure how to fish it. Being that it's elastic, being that it floats, you know, another one. Trying to kind of figure out how to fish them. So this one's for you, Eric. This video is for you. And this is how you should be fishing, you know, to the Z-Man DarterZs or any longer fluke style bait, right? Because at the end of the day, the DarterZ is a fluke. You could use it as a trailer. You can use it as a chatterbait trailer, swim jig trailer, spinnerbait trailer. They work pretty well there. But I just like them naked with a jig head on it. Thanks, bud. Check my line. And yeah, I mean, I'm giving this, you know, really quick small twitches. You know, not your jerk bait where you would be doing this. Not on this style anyway of jig head. I find that it's better to do the quick twitches so that it gives it, you know, it gives that tail and that body that movement, that lifelike movement. And it's also, you know, those quick twitches like that, it's gonna call in the fish, right? They're gonna feel that vibration. And that's what they're gonna come up for, and that's what they're gonna come out of these rocks to investigate or eat. Thanks, bud. Yeah, like I said, just sometimes you just gotta twitch it. Thanks, bud. Sometimes you just gotta twitch it. See now. Thanks, bud. One more cast here, and then we'll try that point behind me. Thanks, bud. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Another one, smaller one, but it's just funny that they're all here. Thanks, bud. Next to the rock, like I said, sunning themselves a little bit. There's another one, jeez. Almighty. All right, can I get on the board for the smallest fish? I don't think it's the smallest fish, but that's a pretty small one.
Hey everybody, Edit Ty here. I wanted to give y'all an update on my thoughts on the deck boots that CalCal sent me. I've had them for a little over a month now, and I've been wearing them to do everything from taking out the trash, walking the dog, running a few errands. I still think they're great. So head on over to their site. They're doing a pretty big sale on a lot of their hunting gear, but I do like their dock boots I like the fact that they are breathable, they're skin safe. I think the thing that I like the best about them is they give you 2 different insoles, so in case you want to have a snugger fit or you like to wear socks. With the holidays coming up, buy yourself a pair, buy your loved ones a pair. Use the code in the description below to get extra savings. I'll leave you now with a couple of fish catches, but thanks for watching. Like always, get out there and fish. Tight lines, y'all.
Another one. Thanks, bud.